social media opportunities to win consumers. The social media world where consumers become the main agents of marketing. We will look into such examples and their spillover effects. We will examine details of structural reforms, the key word of Korea's economic policy for 2015, why the government has put forward reforms as its keyword, and how it can successfully implement the policy. Optical shutter technology that can rapidly control transparency of windows. We will check out the new technology developed by Korean researchers and find out which sectors it will be applied to. With the increase in the use of easy mobile payments, various authentication methods are emerging. We introduce you to easier-to-use authentication methods that have advanced security. The cyber war between North Korea and the U.S. sparked by a movie and the sanctions on Pyongyang imposed by the U.S. We will look into what's behind the recently deteriorating relations between the two countries and forecast their future relationship.
Hello, I'm Andrew Salmon and welcome to Bizline. Now, if you're seeking a new movie or restaurant, or if you're shopping for a new car or telephone, where do you go for product reviews? Well, with hundreds of millions of people now using Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, social media is becoming a key source of product information. And with so many products now becoming viral hits without the need for traditional advertising campaigns, consumers themselves are now becoming the agents rather than the subjects of marketing. Due to these widespread ripple effects, companies are now leveraging social media as a key component of the marketing mix. How are they doing it? Let's take a look.
Companies cry or smile because of a comment users post on social media networks. Social media marketing can maximize marketing impact with minimum cost. Let's step into the world of digital word of mouth that has developed into a new trend. Many smartphone users also use one or more social networking sites. Today's trends include what dishes are appetizing and which movie is worth watching. People check the things posted by their social media friends and also upload their own validation photos, naturally sharing information on hot items.
요즘 유행을 제일 빨리 알 수 있는 게 SNS잖아요. 사진이랑 동영상이 함께 올라오는 솔직한 후기들을 보고 많이 참고하기도 하고 저도 꾸준히 올리는 편이에요.
Not too long ago, there was fuss made over a snack here in Korea. It has become practically impossible to buy honey butter chips as it has become more popular than most TV stars. Without even launching a TV commercial, the honey-flavored potato chips are being sold out because of word of mouth among those who tasted the chips. A relay of the so-called honey butter chip validation game is being played in various social networks. Even celebrities have joined in the relay, further fueling its popularity. My Love, Don't Cross That River, which attracted 4 million viewers for the first time by a documentary film, has also largely benefited from word of mouth on social media. This independent film that is usually hard to even secure first-run theaters could become a box office hit thanks to the audience's emotional movie reviews that spread on social media and many internet bulletin boards. Social media's word of mouth for a Korean product sometimes starts from overseas. Seoul's Myeongdong is one of the key tourist districts for Chinese tourists. Here, we visited a cosmetics shop that is considered as a K-beauty brand. For tourists, one of the word-of-mouth products they must buy when they visit Korea is the snail cream.
在中国的微博上看到了蜗牛霜这个产品，然后觉得挺好的，然后自己也想试一下，所以来买了。
Word of mouth has spread among Chinese women who visited Korea and bought the product. This rapidly spread to Chinese social media and is again creating a storm among Korean customers.
거의 일평균 100만 건 이상의 검색량이 지속되면서 이츠 스킨의 달팽이 크림에 대한 인기가 지속적으로 퍼져갔고요. 이와 같은 SNS의 이슈가 매장 판매로 이어지고 이런 소비자 접점 및 매장에서의 판매 이슈가 국내 소비자들에게도 이슈가 되면서 인기가 지속적으로 오르고 있습니다.
Snail cream has become the best-selling, hottest product to tourists, with the product becoming the best-selling item in a duty-free shop. Capitalizing on its social media success, the company is promptly responding in marketing to sustain its popularity.
SNS에서 입소문을 타면서 판매가 급증함에 따라서 월 평균 50만 개, 즉 6초에 1개씩 판매가 된다는 타이틀을 얻었어요. 이러한 메시지로 저희가 이제 국내 고객들에게 TV 광고뿐만 아니라 여러 가지 영상 콘텐츠를 활용을 해서 지속적으로 온라인에 이슈를 만들어내는 커뮤니케이션 전략을 지속을 하고 있습니다.
Such success were driven by social networking services. Amid the rapid spread of consumers' voluntary marketing, social media marketing has emerged as a huge promoting trend that is expanding and reproducing.
SNS 마케팅은 이제 즉시성의 특성을 가지고 있기 때문에 좀 더 빠르게 소비자들한테 전파될 수가 있는 그런 특징을 가지고 있고요. 그래서 좀 더 즉각적이고 빠른 어떤 마케팅 대응을 할 수 있는 그런 플랫폼이 될 수가 있는 것입니다. 또한 이러한 SNS 마케팅은 소비자의 어떤 자발적인 참여를 이끌어낼 수 있기 때문에 자생적이고 자발적인 어떤 소비자 컨텐츠 같은 것들이 요즘에 많이 만들어지고 있는데 이런 배경하에서 아주 좋은 마케팅 플랫폼이 될 수가 있는 것입니다.
Some say that photo and video-oriented social media sites have largely contributed to this phenomenon. In particular, popularity of Instagram, which has about 300 million users worldwide, is sharply rising in Korea. In particular, Instagram, which is tremendously popular among young people, has a photo editing feature that allows users to apply pretty filters to their photos. As pictures have higher advertising impacts than writing, the application is largely being used as a marketing tool.
SNS 중에 이제 가장 핫하게 떠오르고 있는 그런 매체 중에 인스타그램이 있는데 인스타그램 같은 경우에 이제 그 해시태그 검색어 중에 셀피라는 단어를 단 해시태그를 단 그 인스타그램이 2억 개 중에 1억 8천만 개가 된다고 합니다. 그 정도로 이제 자기 셀카, 자기 자랑질 이런 것들에 대한 소비자들의 심리가 되게 강하다라는 거죠. 그러니까 과시에 대한 욕망이 이런 SNS를 통해서 발현되기 때문에 이런 SNS에서 이런 소비자들의 심리를 잘 이용하는 것들도 굉장히 중요하다고 말씀드릴 수 있습니다.
Thanks to the power of social media marketing, more and more companies are trying to use it as a platform to interact with customers in both ways. In an impressive Christmas event, WestJet Airlines asked passengers before departure what their holiday wishes were and fulfilled their wishes as soon as the plane landed. The strategy is to engage in marketing and improve the company's image at the same time. Certainly, there are also examples of companies' images falling to the ground because of negative word of mouth on social media networks. Malicious rumors or attacks on companies' images and their rivals taking advantage of the situation have caused some companies' sales losses and a deterioration in company images, so it is urgent to come up with legal measures to deal with this.
기업들이 이제 SNS 마케팅을 이용하는 데 있어서 중요한 점은 고객들을 대상으로 해서 홍보 이벤트의 수단으로만 삼으려고 하면 안 된다는 것입니다. 고객들과의 어떤 관계를 정립하고 고객들과의 소통과 공감을 이끌어내는 어떤 그런 장으로서 이용하는 것이 무엇보다 중요하다라고 할 수가 있습니다.
Word of mouth on social media networks based on consumers' experiences and recommendations has emerged as a huge marketing tool that could determine the fate of a company. Now it is time for companies to grow wise on how to challenge the world, where consumers are becoming marketers as the use of social media could lead to greater success.
At the core of its economic plans for 2015, the government has announced structural reforms in 4 critical sectors. These are education, the public sector, labour and finance. With just 3 years left in its term, has the government not bitten off more than it can chew? Moreover, do these 4 reforms actually address the critical issues facing the Korean economy today? Well, to answer these questions, we have with us a well-qualified guest. He is the Director of the Centre for Free Enterprise. Jin-kwon, welcome back to Bizline.
Nice to meet you again.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, I mean, let me ask that question to you. This seems like a very, very big agenda for a government that's only got 3 years left to run. Has the government taken on too big a task by reforming, 4 major sectors?
Yeah, basically it's a big reform, but in these days we have some consensus that the Korean economy is decreasing. I mean, the number itself, we achieved 3.5% of economic growth, but the fundamental system is not sound. Without dramatic reform in 4 areas, as you said, the public sector, financial sector, and education and the labor market, our economy in future might be terrible. That is basically our agreement, consensus. So, but as you said, the 4 areas, the reforms are very, very difficult. But comparatively, this year is very important to us because there is no political elections. Almost in every year, we have political elections in the local government and the
by-elections and so on.
Center,
but this year, clear road.
No, political elections. So it's a chance to
focus on big picture, what economic issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's start with the labour market, which of course is one of Korea's great strengths, but also arguably one of its great weaknesses.
Yes.
On the one hand, very, very hard-working, well-educated, diligent population. On the other, there are issues with labour market flexibility and even union militancy. What is the key reform in this sector?
We do not have a layoff system.
Right.
That is one of the most important facts. Without the layoff in labour market, it is very difficult to have a labour flexibility.
Sure.
So we now have 2 divisions in labour market. The first one is regular workers. The second one is non-regular workers.
Right.
Basically, it is not allowed to fire workers for non-regular workers. They are safe until their retirement.
Right.
So we say it's overprotections. So they do not need to make their best efforts for their works.
Yeah.
But on the contrary, for non-regular workers, it's 2 years maximum they can work.
On a 2-year contract?
Yeah, 2 years contract. And after that, company should
take them
employ
full-time.
Yeah, full-time. It is quite burdensome. That's why, before 2 years, company fire non-regular workers. So we have 2 sort of divisions. So the first one is a regular one is it's not efficient because they don't have
there's no incentive, right?
Right, no incentive.
Yeah.
But on the contrary, in the non-regular workers, they are not safe.
Security.
Right. Every 2 years.
So what's the key reform which the government's come up with to address this
I
issue?
think the most important one is we need increased labor flexibility in market.
Among regular workers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that is the biggest one. Without those reform in regular workers, it is almost impossible to achieve the efficiencies in the labor market.
Let's move on to finance then. Again, an increasingly important sector of the economy. What is the key reform that the government is pushing in the financial sector?
We have a long history that financial sectors were controlled by government.
Sure.
Basically, high-ranked positions, including CEO, CFO, they're all occupied by
government appointees,
government officers. Right. Even by appearance, they're in private sectors, but it's almost the quasi-public sectors. So they have very close relations with the government and the financial sector. So it is very, very difficult to push the financial sectors to reform because they're all the same group, same family. Yeah. So that has the history more than 50 years. So from the last government, we continuously said we should have reform in financial sector.
Well, that's pretty easy to reform, isn't it? The government just stops doing it.
Right, but private sector is not matured, but established well. So just personally, I want to evaluate that reform was needed in these days, but the problem is how. So we do not have any specific ways, strategies to achieve those reform in finance sectors. That's the problem, yeah.
Education sector reform, let's address that. Obviously, this is a colossal task. I would say that it can be that the issues can be sort of boiled down to two. One, in the school system, there's way too much focus on the university entrance exam and the preparation for that, at the expense of all kinds of creative or independent thinking. And then when it comes to the tertiary education sector, it's almost entirely focused on universities, academic universities, rather than vocational education. What's the government going to do to address these kind of core issues?
You know, in education because education is focused on exam. The students from the college, they are not helpful to
industry.
Industry, yes. Yeah. Industry needs many different kinds of skills.
Sure.
But education, especially in college, they are always based on theoretical issues and the exam scores.
Overly academic.
Yes. Yeah. We need to have a skill-based education. That is one way for reform. You know, in a company needs a lot of different talents, right?
Yeah.
Skills.
Sure.
Right. But in Korea, we have a tradition that education should be theoretical, not the skill-based. So we wanted to have sort of a diversity in education. Right? Theory might be important, but only a few smart person, right? So most of students might be trained.
So you want more vocational training?
Yes, that is one of them. Yeah.
Well, that seems like a very, very big task. Let's move to the public sector. Again, this is the last of the four sectors. What area will the restructuring focus on in the public sector?
Okay, it's the first time a government focus on reform in pension system. You know, in this country we have two divisions of public pension. Public pension is for just private people, and we have a public pension for public officers. So public pension for public officers are more generous. We say the rate of return might be 200%. So we have a lot of problem in pension finance. Yeah. So without the reform in the pension finance, our burden, what I'm saying is
it's
in
not
finance.
Sustainable.
Yeah.
So what area is the reform aiming at?
So the first one is, it's public pension for public officers. Now we have a lower contribution and more payment. So we can switch into more contribution and the less payment. But as you know, public officers might have
I would expect them
protest.
to. They would not be happy about that. Who would be?
Yeah.
So how can this be achieved?
It's a very simple mathematical solutions. Sure. Yeah. So we should get the more payment, more contributions from the public office for public pension, and the less payment.
So this is we can see a gradual increase in pension contributions.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Consistently, we see opinion leaders in Korea, government officials, bureaucrats, and particularly the media, telling Korea that the economy is in recession, it's in the doldrums, it's in crisis. In actual fact, this year we've seen growth well north of 3%. Sorry, that was last year. This year we're going to see probably even more robust growth. These are pretty good numbers, and yet the average Korean is constantly being told the economy is in a disastrous sort of situation or condition. Why is that?
Basically, number itself is optimistic, right? Right. 3.5 is pretty high, but the problem is the patterns of growth rate is decreasing. So last 20 years, maybe like 1990s, we had 7 or 8%. After that, 6%. Now we have a 3% range. We say Korean economy has lower growth, time. As the time goes, our economy goes to the bad because we do not have any structural reform. right? For the last 20 years, we did not have any structural reform. So that's why we have a decreasing pattern in economic growth.
And do you think the government's actually on target with these 4 structural reforms?
Yes.
You're positive? Okay. Yeah, fingers crossed for this. Let's see how it goes. Thank you very much once again for being on Bizline.
Thank you.
There is an app for those who have set plans for the new year to work out or study in the morning, but have difficulty waking up early. The app of the week is Sleep If You Can, a powerful morning call app that can't be turned off easily. Let's set the time to wake up and choose the method to turn off the alarm. First, select the number of shakes in the shake mode. If you select 30 times, you have to shake the mobile phone 30 times to turn off the alarm when it goes off. Next, go to the photo mode and take a picture in a specific place. The alarm will turn off only if you take a picture at the selected place, so it is quite useful for those who can't get out of bed easily. Now you will have to wake up, even if you are a person who turns off several alarms and goes back to sleep every morning.
Technology is changing everything in our workplaces, in our transport, even in our homes. Take windows, for example. Soon, curtains and blinds may be a thing of the past because Korean researchers have recently come up with an optical shutter technology that changes the transparency of our windows in 0.1 seconds. So let's take a look at this smart new optical technology and see how it's going to change our windows, our rear view mirrors, even our transparent displays.
Various energy conservation and renewable energy sources are being developed and tested amid increasing demand for efficient use of the Earth's limited energy resources. One effective way to save costs for heating, air conditioning, and lighting is smart glass, also known as solar control windows. The smart glass technology has evolved and continued to grow as part of a global initiative to reduce pollution and energy consumption. The U.S. Department of Energy concluded in a study that switching to smart windows can bring down overall energy maintenance costs in buildings by 25%. Korea's Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute has developed smart electrochromic shutter technology that enables windows to respond to outdoor temperature and lighting conditions literally in the blink of an eye.
스마트 광셔터 기술이라는 것은 유리창에 투과도나 또는 색깔을 전기를 가해줌으로써 사용자가 자유롭게 바꿀 수 있는 그런 기술이라고 말씀드릴 수 있겠습니다. 가장 좋은 응용처가 일단은 스마트 윈도우, 즉 한여름에 강한 일사광을 커튼을 사용하지 않고 스마트 창을 통해서 자유롭게 조절하게 됨으로써 냉방에 들어가는 에너지를 절감할 수 있는 그런 효과를 거둘 수 있는 것이라고 말씀드릴 수 있겠습니다.
The electrochromic smart window darkens when voltage is added. Use of nanoparticles can attach more electrochromic materials that control optical transmission, absorption, and emittance to the surface, allowing much quicker responsiveness to change transparency of glass than existing switchable smart glazing technology.
스위처블 스마트 윈도우라는 것은 저희가 말씀드린 PDLC라고 해서 LC를 이용해서 만드는 글라스 기술이 되겠습니다. 근데 LC를 이용해서 만든 스마트 윈도우는 일반적으로 오프 상태, 그러니까 초기 상태에서 헤이즈가 있습니다. 그 얘기는 무슨 얘기냐면 후연 상태가 항상 존재하기 때문에 개인적으로 프라이빗 차원에서 프라이빗 정보를 가리거나 차단하기 위해서는 유리하지만 기본적으로 상태가 늘 오프 상태에서 헤이즈가 있는 상태이기 때문에 불리한 면이 많이 있습니다. 그렇지만 저희가 쓴 기술은 오프 상태에서도 굉장히 투명도가 높기 때문에 창으로서의 기능성이 훨씬 PDLC보다 우수하다고 볼 수 있습니다.
The core of the local research team's technology is application of nanoparticles. The electrochromic materials are structured in nanoparticles and embedded onto the glass surface. The same team is working on developing film based on the same technology.
전해질 속에 있는 이온들이 어노드와 캐소드로 이동하면서 전기 변색 물질이 색이 나고 또 투명해지는데 그 색이 나고 투명해지는 역할을 하기 위해서 두 물질이 가까이 붙어 있어야 되기 때문에 전해질 사이에 전기 변색 물질과 그다음에 카운터 일렉트로 역할을 하는 두 물질을 접합하는 겁니다. 지금 사용하는 거는 투명 전극이 코팅되어 있는 글라스 기판을 사용하는데 지금 또 최근에 개발되고 있는 PET 필름이나 폴리머 필름 위에 투명 전극이 코팅되어 있는 그런 필름들도 있습니다. 그런 필름 위에 똑같은 방법으로 전기 변색 물질을 하는 캐소드 물질과 그다음에 카운터 일렉트로드를 역할을 하는 어노드 물질을 접합하여서 똑같이 전기 변색 물질을 만들 수 있습니다.
Because nanoparticles are minuscule, a lot more electrochromic materials can go onto the surface. The traveling distance of ions is short, making the color switch instant. The color is changed in just tenths of seconds, compared with a few seconds or minutes that usually take for the same phenomenon to appear on existing switchable windows.
일반적으로 필름 형태를 많이 사용했기 때문에 필름 형태를 사용하게 되면은 필름의 그 처음서부터 그 밑바닥까지 이온이 계속 움직여야 하기 때문에 그 이온이 움직이는 속도가 전기 변색을 결정하게 됩니다. 그렇지만 저희는 나노 구조체를 이용하게 되면은 나노 구조체는 기본적으로 필름보다 비표면적, 그러니까 부피를 전체 그 질량 대비 비교했을 때 훨씬 그 표면적이 넓기 때문에 그 넓은 면적을 다 전기 변색 물질이 도포가 되기 때문에 훨씬 이온이 이동 속도가 짧고 빠른 시간에 변색이 가능하다고 할 수 있겠습니다.
The window can be dimmed up to 90%, almost to a dark mode, blocking both light and heat. It can freely control the daylight and heat both in summer and winter, effectively replacing the role of blinds or curtains.
저희가 가지고 있는 그 광 셔터의 특징이 뭐냐면은 그 전압을 가하지 않는 상태, 초기 상태가 굉장히 투명합니다. 그래서 그 전압의 세게 할수록 그 착색되는 정도가 진해져서 투과도가 굉장히 약해지는 거고 그 가해지는 전압의 어떤 양에 따라서 투과도를 변화시킬 수가 있습니다.
Global demand for smart windows is expected to reach $5.3 billion by the year 2020, according to one study. If the local prototype is commercialized, it will likely have an edge over existing smart window products in function and cost effectiveness.
현재 이런 방식 말고 다른 방식의 스마트 글래스나 시스템 창호가 대략 제곱미터당 60만 원에서 100만 원 정도를 요청을 하고 있거든요, 시장에서요. 근데 그렇게 되면은 그것들을 실제로 사용할 수 있는 가구가 별로 없습니다. 그래서 저희는 대면적 그 필름화가 된다면은 대략 한 10만 원 미만으로 제곱미터당 10만 원 미만으로 적용을 하려고 노력을 하고 있고요. 그렇게 된다면은 어느 가구든지 부담 없이 왜냐하면 전체적인 냉방 비용과 이렇게 상쇄될 수 있는 부분을 본다면은 충분히 투자할 수 있을 만한 정도의 가격으로 이끌려고 저희가 노력을 하고 있습니다.
The smart shading technology that can save energy when installed as building windows has a broad area of applications. Smart windows have already been applied on cars. The fast switch allows quicker response to bright headlights from a car behind or can be useful when passing through a tunnel.
현재는 에너지 문제가 현 시대를 살고 있는 우리들에게 제일 큰 문제 중에 하나일 텐데 여름철 냉방부하를 모든 빌딩에서 25% 이하, 25% 정도를 감소시킬 수 있다면은 국가 전체적인 에너지 및 경제 상황으로 볼 때 많은 도움이 될 수 있을 거라고 생각하고 있습니다.
Smart windows so far have been confined to a niche market for the purpose of energy saving. But through continuous development, we expect smart shutters to help not only moderate light and heat, but also come into everyday use in various forms.
The hottest issue emerging in Korea's IT and financial services sector thus far this year is online payment services. Many companies are currently deviating from the clunky and time-consuming public authentication method previously used. Instead, they're pioneering new services which are both easier to use and more secure. And indeed, the success or failure of these services this year could spell the life or death of companies in the year ahead.
With the increasing use of online and mobile payment services, people are paying more attention to simpler and more secure authentication methods. Let's check out the evolving authentication methods for easy payment services, which are moving away from outdated methods of using the same security programs and passwords. Safety is the key to sending money or purchasing goods and services. But it has been inconvenient to make payments online as it takes too long to go through a complicated and cumbersome process. Users had to install digital certificates known as public key certificates, which contain personal information, and download security programs to strengthen security and enter credit card numbers. Then, the Korean government decided to ease regulations to minimize the process of online payments. As a result, various easy payment methods have been introduced. Jin-kwon frequently uses mobile shopping. An purchases goods with a smartphone and pays for the goods electronically. After selecting the payment method, the user enters the password and completes the payment. The Easy Payment service requires the user to register credit card information and go through the personal authentication process the first time. Then the user will be able to pay for a product by just entering passwords from the next time.
기존 방식에서는 항상 카드도 꺼내야 되고 개인정보를 입력을 해야 되느라 좀 번거로웠는데 새로운 방식에서는 개인정보를 한번 입력만 해놓으면 비밀번호만 입력하고 바로 구매가 가능하기 때문에 훨씬 더 편해진 것 같습니다.
Such a simplification of the payment system is in line with the global trend to reduce distribution costs in financial services and remove their partitions. It may be more convenient to use the payment service if the public key certificates and ActiveX plugins were removed. But this will make the system vulnerable to security threats, as these security modules have been in charge of the security of the payment process. Consequently, people are focusing on easy-to-use and highly secure authentication methods. When a user chooses to use a credit card for making mobile payments, a window pops up for user authentication. When the user's credit card briefly touches the backside of the smartphone, the authentication and payment process is completed. What replaced the complicated existing authentication method is credit card tags. Using the smartphone's near-field communications function, one can authenticate their identity by directly touching one's credit card to the smartphone. Users can use the credit card tag method in making e-payments with personal computers.
카드에서 스마트폰으로 전달되는 정보는 암호화된 형태로 전달되기 때문에 보안성 측면에서 우수하다고 볼 수 있고, 카드사뿐만 아니라 이동통신사를 통해서도 본인 인증이 투채널로 인증이 진행되기 때문에 다른 어떤 솔루션보다 보안성이 우수하다고 볼 수 있습니다.
Concerns are repeatedly being raised over security of the password method because it simply combines numbers and letters. As many users use their birthdays or phone numbers as their passwords, they are easy to speculate. The method is also easy to be hacked once the system is infected with malicious codes. Making passwords more complex and longer to strengthen security makes it difficult for users to remember them. Accordingly, patterns or graphic authentication methods are newly drawing attention. To identify the user, it uses patterns and graphic authentication methods instead of public key certificates. The graphic authentication method is an intelligent authentication method, which requires the user to combine 4 images, which change their locations and contents each time in a preset order. One of the 4 images is set as a whole, and 3 other images are dragged onto it. This method is also more secure, as the user does not click on the images set as a password, but drags them.
손가락으로 스마트폰을 그리는 식으로 이루어져요. 그렇기 때문에 정보 입력이 없이 그리는 형태로 가기 때문에 상당히 편리하다고 말씀드리겠고, 매번 그 아이콘들이 바뀝니다. 그러니까 뭐 가짜 사이트 같은 것들을 차단할 수가 있고, 그다음에 비밀번호, 일종의 이제 그 아이콘이 비밀번호 역할을 하는 건데, 그게 이제 조합 형태로 되는 거다 보니까 경우의 수가 일반적인 비밀번호보다 훨씬 더 복잡해요. 그래서 상당히 좀 안전하다고 할 수 있겠습니다.
Moreover, biometrics methods including fingerprint or iris recognition are largely expected to be used as authentication methods for payment systems. Various authentication methods are emerging, but it's a problem that there are no clear standards that can objectively evaluate the security of each method.
기존에는 사용자의 어떤 편리성 같은 건 고려하지 않은 채 보안 제품들이 나왔거든요. 즉 사용자를 보안 제품에다 맞추려고 했다는 거죠. 근데 이제는 그 보안 제품이 사용자 눈높이에 맞춰가는 조금 쓰기 편한 인터페이스를 갖는 보안 제품들이 나올 것 같습니다. 그런 어떤 생체 인식이라든가 뭐 이런 것들도 어떤 사용자의 어떤 눈높이에 맞춘 인터페이스가 개선된 보안 제품이라고 봐야지, 이게 더 안전한 어떤 보안 제품이다라고 보는 건 좀 문제가 있거든요.
But for now, many people are positive on the government's decision that it will no longer require financial firms to use compulsory security programs in order to give more freedom to the market. As a result, companies are researching and developing various simple payment methods. Through freely competing in the market and toughening the market's responsibility, users will be able to choose from various options that are easy to use and highly secure.
하나는 사용자 쪽은 간편해지되 업체 쪽에 그 보안의 부담을 대부분 지는 어떤 그런 방식이 될 거고요. 두 번째는 업체가 제대로 보안을 준수하고 있다는 걸 확인받기 위해서 어떤 글로벌한 평가 인증 기관에 가서 그 평가를 받도록 하는 문화가 정착이 될 거고요. 그 다음에 업체한테 자유를 줬다는 건 책임도 지란 얘기거든요. 그래서 보안 사고가 났을 경우에 어떤 사용자가 손해배상을 받을 수 있는 어떤 그런 기회도 많아질 것으로 보여집니다.
Easier to use and more diverse payment programs are emerging amid the revitalization of easy payments. Convenience is crucial, but more importantly, whether the services can offer security that can prevent financial losses will be the key to the popularization of easy payment services.
At the end of last year, North Korea and the United States found themselves engaged in a cyber war over movie The Interview. Yet at the beginning of this year, the leaders of North and South Korea both expressed their willingness to improve bilateral ties. However, absent improved ties between Washington and Pyongyang, improved relations between Pyongyang and Seoul look unlikely. So, how is this situation going to play out in the year ahead? Let's take a look.
The latest spat over Washington and Pyongyang was sparked by a Hollywood comedy movie that centers on a plan to assassinate North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. In November of 2014, Sony Pictures Entertainment learned that its internal computer network had been hacked. Private emails, sensitive documents, and unreleased films surfaced on the web. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation concluded that North Korea was centrally involved.
Cyber is a powerful new realm for them, where they believe they can exert maximum influence at minimum cost.
U.S. investigators were able to trace the hackers because the IP addresses they used and sent emails came from those that were exclusively used by North Koreans.
My country has nothing to do with the Sony hacking. And we really want United States to provide evidence.
They caused a lot of damage. And we will respond. We will respond proportionally, and we'll respond in a place and time and manner that we choose.
President Obama, who called Sony's initial plan to withdraw the film a mistake, on January 2nd signed an executive order that mounted financial sanctions on North Korea.
I think his action is symbolic. His action is more symbolic than real. But I think that the symbolic gesture has its own content too, okay? Because President Obama is sending North Korea that you cannot do it again, okay? If you do again, then more sanctions will be imposed on you. Your bad behavior will be rewarded with punishment. I think that is kind of, crime and punishment formula is what President Obama had in mind.
Pyongyang vehemently denied involvement in the hack and lashed at Washington for setting up a frame.
백악관에서 이번에 벌어진 구태의연한 일방적인 제재 노름은 미국이 우리에 대한 체질적인 거부감과 적대감에서 오연 벗어나지 못하고 있다는 것을 여실히 보여준다.
North Korea showed its teeth towards the U.S. in the New Year's address by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
우리 민족을 둘러 갈라놓고 장장 70년간 민족 분열의 고통을 들씌워온 기본 장본인인 미국은 시대착오적인 대조선 적대시 정책과 무분별한 침략 책동에 매달리지 말고 대담하게 정책 전환을 하여야 할 것입니다.
But the new sanctions may just be the start of renewed pressure on Pyongyang. The U.S. Congress is mulling over a bill that calls for North Korea to be relisted as a state sponsor of terrorism.
If the sanctions or enlisting North Korea as a state sponsoring terrorism successful, I think there will be various concrete actions U.S. can take vis-a-vis North Korea. For example, banning the tourists to visit to North Korea, and also you can think of the financial sanctions vis-a-vis North Korea. So United States can take any measures unilaterally without having any, for example, the United Nations Security Council resolution. So United States can take unilateral measures if there is a legislative measures to enlist North Korea as a state sponsoring terrorism.
The executive order marks the first time the U.S. has sanctioned another state over a cyber attack. What has made Washington so aggressive against Pyongyang?
Cybersecurity has become very important concerns of national security. Therefore, he was alerting the American public that Americans should watch out about these potential dangers coming from the cyber area. Another important one is, he wanted to really discipline North Korea.
Seoul has maintained calmness and discretion, keeping a distance from the deepening rift between Washington and Pyongyang. It fundamentally bases North Korean policy on coordination with the U.S., but it also has to consider the reconciliatory mood between the two Koreas that has been blossoming since the beginning of the year. North Korea's Kim, in his New Year's address, went as far as to suggest an inter-Korean summit, but he conditioned it with a demand to cease regular Korea-U.S. military drills.
I think there's a possibility for this kind of North Korea's traditional strategy to create a split between the United States and South Korea. So a continuation of that is the one actually, but as we know actually, key resolve exercise is scheduled for March. So March can be the turning point maybe, because actually North Korea has put forward it as a precondition for the inter-Korean dialogue, for the termination of the combined military exercise with the United States. So South Korea cannot accept that kind of precondition at all. South Korea is supposed to carry out what it is supposed to do and what it has planned.
Experts advise Seoul and Washington to work more closely and tightly for the common goal of denuclearizing the Korean Peninsula.
The United States cannot oppose the improvement of relation between the two Koreas in principle, but actually U.S. is primarily focused on the nuclear issue, whereas actually South Korea has additional issues to solve. So I think there's priorities between the two countries could be different, but that's why I'm saying that we need to collaborate and coordinate our policy vis-a-vis North Korea.
Will the worsening North Korea-U.S. ties then get any better? Experts are doubtful, unless there is any improvement in the North Korean nuclear program.
President Obama's message to North Korea is very clear. The U.S. wants to have a serious and sincere dialogue with North Korea. But as we know, North Korea, Kim Jong-un have expressed simultaneous policies of economic development and also to continue to build up its nuclear program, which already has been stipulated in the revised constitution of North Korea. So in this context, the U.S. has no reason to have a dialogue with North Korea. So now U.S.-North Korea relationship is pretty much thawed, very cold, with sanctions by the U.S. towards North Korea. If North Korea expresses that it would give up, dismantle, or stop developing its nuclear program, I think the dialogue is pretty much high. The possibility to open a dialogue is very high.
The U.S. and North Korea are exchanging hardballs and show little sign of relenting. Unless there is progress on the nuclear front, the animosity won't likely be cleared.
And that's all we have time for on Bizline this week. But do join us again next week, because with so many different but similar products on offer, and with the domestic spending slump continuing, many consumers are finding it difficult to reach that critical buy decision. In response to this kind of indecisive consumer, companies have come up with a new marketing strategy. It's called curated marketing, in which experts will recommend specific products for specific customers. How does it work? Well, we'll find out next week. But that's all for now. I'm Andrew Salmon. This was Bizline. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.